Hey out there in Training Tuesday land, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Heidi Reese, and I am the Training Programs Manager for Dayton Superior. Hope you all are enjoying these Training Tuesdays that we do every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. So I want to know if there's anything that you want to see on these Training Tuesdays, please send it in to me and Chuck at training@daytonsuperior.com, and we'll see about getting it done for you. So as always, we appreciate you taking the time to come and listen. Have a couple of items to go over before we get started. Wanted to remind everyone that you have joined muted, so the presentation can be conducted without any outside disturbances, but that doesn't mean that you can't chat with me. We just have some problems with someone chatting with me and I keep chatting back, so you probably think I'm rude. It's actually not working, but we can definitely get that going and talk to each other. And if you have any questions, we'll definitely have time at the end, and if not, you can ask them and we'll get back to you. But there'll be a mini Q&A session. You can ask those through either chat or the Q&A in Zoom. As a reminder, each and every one of these are recorded and placed out on Dayton Superior's YouTube channel, as well as daytonsuperior.com. Just search Training Tuesday and you'll find all of them. I think there's about 140, or actually, no, this is 138, right, Holly? You have no idea. All right. One of many. Yes. So what are we talking about? We're talking about precast chemical solutions today. But just to remind everyone real fast, this presentation is intended for training purposes only. So all the products and things that we're going to talk about here for this training, please go to daytonsuperior.com and get safety data sheets, technical data sheet, guide documents. All of it is out there, and you need to read that before actually using the products. So Dayton Superior is the leading provider of engineer solutions for the concrete construction industry. You know, we deal with all the things that you see there as far as products, accessories, chemicals, forming. Engineering is a big thing in that we have the largest engineering staff, and we're here and ready to assist you for those challenges. Or if you need a PE stamp or a bridge deck, you name it. Get on daytonsuperior.com and you can contact us for that, as well as training. So I just mentioned we have a lot of these online, but if you need something to further your education, or if this is supposed to be intended for a quick snippet, let's say you want to talk more about precast chemicals and precast lifting hardware, you name it. We can make that happen for you. Chuck is awesome, as well as all of our other experts out there, and we can get something that we've already created, or we can customize straight for you. Again, contact us at training@daytonsuperior.com. So one of the things I want to also mention is that Precast Engineering Solutions, we've got the most comprehensive portfolio of the precast products out there in the industry for domestic and non-USA as well. It is a single source provider in that we provide you with accessories and chemicals with engineering solutions. I just talked about that. I left out specifically the precast because I wanted to talk about it on this slide. It's about panels, site drawings, specs, tools. You can read that there. And we have this engineering expertise that if you need something for precast, we can get that taken care of for you. We develop our products with performance, strength, and safety in mind, and do valid testing to provide you with the safety in mind, and to know that we are out there providing you with the best products available. And we've already talked about training. So now I'm going to segue into, and you already heard her because I asked her a question, Mrs. Holly Juergens is going to talk to us about these chemicals. So let's hear about Holly. She has been at Dayton Superior for over 10 years, and she is currently the Director of Product Engineering for Chemicals, and her extensive experience goes along the lines of R&D. She developed many of these products that we're probably going to be talking about today and researched, and she's been in the manufacturing as well as product management side of the business. She is a chemical engineer, so she possesses that deep insight into chemical design and application. Specifically, I made a new word, in job site environments. She's got that MBA that complements her technical expertise, so she can really get into the nitty-gritties of the business and approach a product, for product management, support to formula composition, DOT, certification queries, things like that. She also holds a Six Sigma Green Belt and actively participates in various NetPEP committees. So here we are, Holly, it's your turn.
All right, thanks, Heidi. So as we go through our precast chemicals today, we're going to be looking at all types of products. As you can see, we've got form releases. We're going to talk about finishing aids, grouts, repairs, think through some epoxies in there for good measure, and some waterproofing solutions. And then Heidi's going to go through and share all the different resources that you have available.
I'm super excited about that.
As an overview, Dayton provides the precast industry with options to help prepare, repair, and protect. So we're committed to that new product development and innovating those new solutions so we can support both your new and your existing construction products. So let's get into it. We've got form releases. They play a huge role in the precast market. They're well-formulated water or oil-based products that are meant to either react with a concrete surface or to provide a physical barrier. And they are not diesel fuel or motor oil. You'll see those used a lot by inexperienced crews out in the field. There's a lot of complications that come from using those. These are designed to prevent fresh concrete from bonding to your formwork, allowing for a clean and residue and stain-free finish once you remove those forms. So they're going to provide rust protection, help maintain and extend the life of your forms, but they also provide that fast and consistent release and give you those great results. So all of our form releases meet current VOC laws, so you don't have to worry about any of that. It's going to provide you with those quick turnaround times. And again, you're going to have consistent results using products that are high quality, refined oil or water-based products. So there are three ways that a form release can provide that release that you see. The first is a full reaction with the concrete, and we simply call these reactive. They contain a fatty acid that reacts with the alkali in the concrete, and that's going to produce a soap, which is going to prevent the sticking. The second type is a buffered reaction. Some people call these neutral. The product still contains a fatty acid, but the reaction is buffered and it's kind of pre-reacted, which is going to make it a little bit less intense. So these buffered products are great for inexperienced crews because they're very forgiving if you over apply that product. The last type is called a barrier, and it's exactly what it sounds like. So these products are going to create a physical water repelling barrier to prevent the sticking of your concrete to your forms. They can come in wax, petroleum, oil, or resinous form. So some of the special considerations when it comes to precast for form liners is going to come down to what kind of material your form liner is made of. So elastomeric form liners don't do well with high solvent releases, so you want to look at something with a little bit lower of a solvent content. Both elastomeric and ABS plastic liners require heavy-bodied form releases to ensure that it's going to stay on the liner, it's not going to slide off, and it's going to still prevent that sticking. It's also best to apply light coats on your ABS plastic as opposed to heavy coats. You want to go in with a few different layers of lighter coats to make sure that you're coating it well without it actually coming off of your form liner. Something that's super exciting is that Dayton is now offering a simplified form release product line. So this is going to make it easier for you to choose the correct form release for your needs. We used to have a very extensive form release portfolio, and in the process of bringing you better, higher performing, cleaner form releases, we've been able to narrow it down to what you can see here as our 5 main categories. So we still have our water-based product, J1EF. It's considered a barrier release. Our buffered or user-friendly product is Magic Coat. Then we have 3 fully reactive products. So J1A is going to be your workhorse, your street fighter for everyday use. J3 is still our premium option, which is going to ensure that architectural grade appearance once you remove those forms. And again, it's very popular in the precast industry. And then lastly, we have a cold weather option. So the J1A winter grade is going to give you a lower viscosity, which makes it easier to spray and apply in colder temperatures. And it's going to give you the same type of general use that the Clean Strip J1A gives. So as I mentioned, we have simplified the form release product line, and in doing so, we've made our Magic Coat, J1A, and J3 products all under 100 grams per liter in VOCs. So all of those are now available for use anywhere in the US and Canada, and this includes the South Coast Air Quality Management District in California. So you no longer have to question which product is approved for use in your area, whether you want water-based or oil-based, anything is going to be approved as long as it's under that 100 gram per liter mark. We also, again, have that J1A winter grade. Right now, it's sitting at less than 200 grams per liter. We're working on bringing that one down as well. Again, the benefit of not only bringing these into the portfolio at less than 100 grams per liter that they fall under the VOC laws, but they also are a lot cleaner product. So the oil itself is a lot cleaner. You'll notice a lighter color of the oil, which is going to really ensure that there's no staining on your concrete faces. It also has a really pleasant citrus or cherry scent. So sometimes these oils smell like oil and it's not the most pleasant. So we've tried to change that. So when you're using it, you've got a little bit more of a pleasant experience. So next up, we've got our finishing products. So finishing aids are a big thing that are coming into the market now. Finishing products in general are used to aid in the finishing process of concrete slabs. So this includes both evaporation retarders and finishing aids. Historically and currently, these products have worked well in extending the workability in harsh weather conditions. They do great in aiding in the application of shake-on hardeners and all of these other issues with maybe low water cement ratios. More recently, they're actually gaining more fame because they help in combating issues due to the use of Type 1L cement. So as Type 1L cement becomes more and more popular, we're seeing the need for using these finishing products like evaporation retarders and finishing aids more commonly out on these job sites. So the key to using these products properly and for their intended use is going to be timing and application. So in the concrete finishing timeline, evaporation retarders are actually going to go down first. So you're going to put them down right after screeding. And they're going to be sprayed on the surface, and you want to leave them alone. You want them to form a film, and you want them to trap in that bleed water. So as you can see in the picture on the left, you've got a slab on the top that the water is coming to the surface, and that yellow film is your evaporation retarder, and it's trapping that bleed water in there. And the purpose of doing this is that it's going to give your crew more time to come back and properly finish their slab. So let's say you're going through and you're screeding and you have a huge slab that you're working on and you want to be able to come back and finish without losing all that bleed water. You come back, there's no bleed water. Like, well, shoot, what am I supposed to do now? So this evaporation retarder is going to keep that bleed water in there so that when you do come back, you're not going to show up and start trying to finish and you're going to start pulling and ripping your concrete surface. So after that finishing aid or after that evaporation retarder evaporates, then you're going to come back and put down your finishing aid. And that's happening during the floating and troweling stage. So the finishing aids are sprayed on, but they're actually physically worked into the surface with a float or a trowel. And when you physically work it into the surface, it's going to react with that calcium hydroxide in there to film that CSH, was that hydrate. And that hydrate is that cream that sits on the concrete surface that when you go to finish it, it makes it nice and smooth and really easy to finish. So if you've ever been working with a slab and you finished it perfectly on time, you know what I'm talking about. Nice, smooth cream on top that makes troweling and floating really simple. This finishing aid is to help kind of bring that surface back to life a little bit and allow you to be able to finish smoothly as if you just hit it at the right exact time. So that evaporation retarder kind of keeps that moisture in so that when you go back and apply the aid, some people call them troweling aids, for example, then you're going to have a much easier time finishing that slab. It's going to be a way better experience than if you're trying to finish a slab that's gone a little bit too far. So the key here for both is to really keep an eye on the bleed water and the evaporation rates while you're applying each product in the correct order. So you want to make sure that you're watching for when the evaporation retarder evaporates, make sure you get that finishing aid down on there and worked into that surface. So our evaporation retarder is the Aquafilm J74. It's available in both ready-to-use and concentrate forms. They minimize moisture loss again by trapping that bleed water after the screeding process. So they actually use acetyl alcohol chemical, which is considered a long chain chemical, and that long chain is what helps form that film. And that's why it's important to spray it down and just let it be. You don't want to use anything to break that chemical chain. And if you break that chemical chain, you're taking all the water in this product and you're mixing it into the slab, creating excess water and messing with your ratio. So it's really important to spray it down, let it form that long chain chemical film and do its job. Our superior finishing aid is also available in ready to use and concentrate forms. And again, it's considered either a finishing or troweling aid. You might hear it referred to as both. And that's generally a colloidal silica based product. So that colloidal silica, which is just a suspension of silica, is what's going to get down into your surface when you work that in. So it does allow for an easier finishing experience. You're reducing curling, crazing, and shrinkage, which we've seen way too much with type 1L, which is why it's really great for use on type 1L slabs. And something that we did in terms of testing is that we found out that using the finishing aid, especially in combination with this evaporation retarder, it provides excellent abrasion and impact resistance as it's worked into the surface to react with that surface, and also helps densify and prevent the absorption of harmful chemicals or salts. So not only are you getting an easier finishing experience, you're actually providing great benefits to your slabs. So next up in our precast chemical lineup, we have curing compounds. So curing compounds are going to help retain moisture to ensure that proper hydration of your concrete. So in turn, this is going to ensure that your slabs reach their full strength while reducing things such as crazing and cracking. And they're going to provide improved durability and abrasion resistance. So hydration is key when it comes to curing your concrete properly. By keeping that moisture in, the water is actually able to properly hydrate the cement so it can bind to the fine aggregate in that concrete mix. So this binding is important as it's what's going to give your slabs the strength and durability to perform. So as you can see on the left, we've got an unhydrated cement particle. Those little branches aren't quite reaching the aggregate in the mix. When you properly hydrate that cement, it's able to really grasp onto that aggregate and form a really nice matrix within your concrete that's going to give you that really solid, durable slab that you won't have as many issues with. So you're going to apply your curing compound immediately after the surface water disappears after your final finishing stage. So you would go evaporation retarder, finishing aid, then cure. And if you have any questions or concerns about properly curing your concrete, ACI 308 Guide to Curing Concrete is an amazing resource, lots of information. You can find information from ACI about curing in hot and cold temperatures. So it's a really great resource to have on hand whenever you're working with curing your concrete. Dayton offers a variety of curing compounds to meet all your project-specific or maybe state DOT requirements. So this includes both resin and wax options, as well as white pigmented, clear, or dyed options. So our J11W, it's a resin-based cure. It comes as both clear, which is the J11W, or with red dye, which is our J11WD. They're dissipating cures, which means that they will disappear over time with exposure to sunlight and traffic. Our white pigmented cures also include resin and wax. So our resin is the white resin cure J10W, and our wax-based white pigmented cure is our white wax cure J9A. So both these products do require physical removal before the next step in your process. They have that white pigment in there to help reflect the sun's heat. And we do have specific products for specific states that might have more stringent reflectivity parameters. So if you are in a state that's got a different kind of spec, go ahead and hit up our tech service line and they'll be able to direct you to the right product codes to make sure you're getting the right product and the right cure for the state that you're in. So whether you have new or old precast panels that might be in need of repair, Dayton's going to have a repair product to fit your needs. So we have a very extensive repair product portfolio, can fix anything from structural to aesthetic damage. Two of our most common general repair options in the precast industry are the Recrete 20-minute and Recrete Light 20-minute. Both are good for use on horizontal, vertical, or overhead repairs. They offer a fast setting time with polymer modification, provide that extra strength, flexibility. The Recrete 20-minute is darker in color. It's available in a 5-minute version as well if you're looking for even more speed. And then our Recrete Light 20-minute is very popular in the precast industry due to its light gray color. These can both be used interior and exterior. Maybe you're looking for a little bit more of a simple aesthetic repair. We do have a few options for that. We have architectural finish and superior wall finish. Architectural finish has a few more limitations than superior wall finish. It's only for use on vertical and overhead repairs and can only be applied up to 1/8 inch thickness. On the other hand, the superior wall finish can also be used on horizontal fixes that are not exposed to traffic. So if you have a horizontal, more aesthetic repair that you know is going to receive a little bit of traffic, you can use our thin resurfacer for that. So this product is polymer modified. It provides a super smooth finish. It's so smooth that it can be painted within 1 hour without having to sand first. It can also be applied up to 2 inches in thickness if you're working on horizontal, and then all the way up to 1/8 inch when you're working overhead. So it has a lot of flexibility. Again, it's a really great product. If you haven't seen it in person yet, make sure you ask for a bag to sample, and you'll be very surprised how well it goes down, how smooth it is. You can apply it using a trowel, roller, or brush. If you're looking for maybe more of like a stucco finish, a roller is a really cool way to apply it. It gives a really great finish. Then we also have epoxy. So Propoxy 300 Fast is great for anchoring. Propoxy 200 is great for adhering, and Propoxy 100 is great for filling in any of those cracks that you might have forming on your job. So we have the Propoxy 50 as well, which is even thinner if you've got very, very fine cracks on your job. But these products do really well in the precast industry, helping repair any sort of issues you might have. You can also use the 300 Fast as an injection cap sealer when working with our gravity feeder pressure injection epoxies, such as the 100 or the 50. Grouts that may come in handy include our 1107, our Sure Grip High Performance grout, or our Turbo LT12. So depending on your needs, the strength increases from one to the next as you go down this slide, with Turbo LT12 being the greatest strength cementitious based grout that we have. So the 1107 is considered, again, kind of like your J1A. It's your workhorse grout. So it's going to be a really great option, passes C1107. It's got controlled positive expansion. You can use it interior and exterior. The HP grout is going to provide high early strength. It's a great pumpable grout. And then you've got the Turbo LT12, which on top of being the greatest strength, it also allows for low temperature placement. So if you're working in situations with low temperatures, it's a great option. Lastly, we have our waterproofing option. So sealing your project off with a water repellent is going to help prevent any structural damage that can occur from harmful intrusions, whether it be simply water or salt or any other chemicals that might be around your job site. It's going to help prevent mold and mildew and any sort of low-lying areas where moisture might be a problem. Our two most common water repellents are J29 and J29A. Your VOC restrictions may dictate which is appropriate in your area. So 40% is 40% solid, so it's going to have a higher VOC. 100% J29A is going to be 100% silane, so the VOCs are much lower. We do offer J26WB. It's a 10% siloxane, so it does have water in it as opposed to a solvent if you're very much restricted on your solvent usage. Both offer long-term weatherproofing and protection and very deep penetration into your slab to make sure that protection gets as deep as possible. We also have Water Stop, which is going to help stop any active leaks you might have. And it can be applied in underwater conditions. So it's going to plug and stop any active leaks in non-moving concrete. It is non-corrosive and non-rusting, so it's okay that it's used underwater. Now, Heidi's going to share what resources we have available so you can learn more about the products and the services that Dayton offers.
Thanks, Holly. So yeah, Holly's a resource. There's one. Her email address is, no, I'm kidding. No, so to start with, there we do have a lot of individuals that can be resources to you. On the website, we have quite a lot too. I'm always spouting that. You saw me or heard me do that at the very beginning. We have product pages as well as landing pages for the various areas. Right now, you see like clear resin cure J11W. And a lot of people ask me, well, how the heck do I know how to get to it? Well, there's a search functionality at the top right. Just search for clear resin or form release or whatever, and all the ones that are tagged as such will come up for you. In addition, we have technical data sheets and safety data sheets that will provide you with all the information as far as the technical safety situations. The safety part will tell you how to clean up, what is safe about using it, protect against eyes, that kind of thing. We have selection and application guides as well. And one of the things that a lot of people like is we have a DOT approval list. So you see that at the top right, we also have an interactive map that you can select your state and find the ones that are DOT or Build America, Buy America, and you can find with confidence what products are available to you with the specifications that you need. VOC and shelf life, as well as handbooks, specifications, talked about that. If you need to have something spec'd or know if it's spec'd or not, we have a form out there for you. In addition, we have various brochures, not always, but if they're there, they're going to be on that product page that I started with on the left-hand side on DaytonSuperior.com. We already talked about the training videos. Just know that when you search that Training Tuesday, you come across the latest and greatest of the 4. And then if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you can find things by product lines such as chemicals, precast, tilt-up, and they're all organized for you so that you can get to them as you need them. So as I'm talking and finishing up here, please go ahead and put in any questions that you might have in the chat functionality or Q&A through Zoom. And so I left the most important one here. So Holly had mentioned that we have technical assistants. We have those guys. We have the TSRs for the technical sales representatives. We have your DSMs. We have your customer support team. We have a lot of people. We have engineering staff. So this map that you can get on DaytonSuperior.com provides you with the ability to download if you're Dayton Superior assignments, as you see in that image all the way to the bottom right. And click on Dayton Superior, click on your state, and then you can find all of that information right there with a phone number or email and contact as you need. Okay, while you guys are getting those questions in, I also want to remind you that we're talking about precast chemicals, and I know it's chemicals, inclusive. We've got so much more, but the precast show is coming up next week, and Dayton Superior will be there in booth number 1147. This is in Indianapolis, Indiana. So please come and see us. Okay, any questions, guys and gals? So if you need training, that QR code right there, just scan it now and it will get you to us, or simply email it training@DaytonSuperior.com. I think you did so great that they're all like speechless on the other line.
Gosh, I guess so.
Yeah, or they're eating their lunch and just, doing Amazon. I don't know. Okay, guys, I appreciate you. Holly and Chuck is hanging out here. We didn't really tell you that Chuck was here. He's just being all, stealthy. So we appreciate you hanging out with us on a Tuesday, and we hope to see you next week. Thank you, Holly.
No problem.